Hey everyone, this is Electra. Today's going to be a mental health video topic. I'm not feeling great at all. Um, I guess it's the summertime blues, but yeah, I mean, I've been getting the summertime blues, or I'm just going to call it seasonal affective disorder, summertime version. I've been getting these, I think, in August. August is sometimes when it tends to happen. September, I don't know. It's just like I'm so sick of summer. I like summer less and less every year. If I could live somewhere where it would never get above 70 to 75 degrees, I would go there in a heartbeat. Um, but unless I can live in like San Diego or uh, Santa Monica or maybe Santa Barbara, which is never going to happen. I'm stuck with, well, the Midwest isn't too bad. It's like total opposite weather-wise from Southern California, but in a way I've become one with it. And it's, I don't know, the weather of Southern California didn't always do it for me either because it was too good. It was too good, too predictable. It hardly ever rained, and I normally hate rain here in the Midwest, and or where I grew up in Texas. I hated rain. Florida too, for that matter. But yeah, it rains so little in Southern California that when it rains, they're actually not that upset about it. Not doing well. Been unemployed now about 2 months. I'm at the point where I can't enjoy my free time or the time I should be like doing things I want to do because I feel like I need to be looking for jobs, but then the very act of looking for jobs on Indeed is just making my depression and anxiety even worse. To see hundreds and hundreds of jobs that are apparently in my zip code within a couple miles of my apartment that are not. I don't even know like who works these jobs because I don't know any. I can't. Just the title of the jobs are just like I have no idea what this is talking about. I typed in the word scheduler because my last job was a scheduler position. So I just typed in scheduler as a major hospital, like 2 miles from my apartment. That you would think, oh, they need schedulers, right? It's a pretty basic position. Apparently, no. It was like apparently it's rolled into other positions that sound far more complicated, and I just didn't have the energy to go through that. I just don't know if I don't know if I'm ever going to have a job again in this current job market. I don't see what I could possibly do that's going to be sustainable and is going to be something I want to do for more than like a month before I lose my mind and get fired again. So it's almost like I feel like life is pushing me in the direction of being a content creator, but I never really wanted to be one. I don't even really consider myself to be a creative person. I can have creative phases in my life, like these oil paintings back here. I painted these myself in plein air, as they say in French, which means outside painting. And so, yeah, I taught myself how to paint, like starting around 2008, 9, 10, uh, in the style of landscape oils. And I mean, as you can see, I got pretty good at it, but never really pushed it to get to a point where I could make money from it. And to tell you the truth, I don't think I really wanted to. I I don't want something that I loved at the time to become a grind. And this is the kind of the dichotomy in my personality, and especially my autistic personality, is when it comes to my autism, I love rituals, I love routines, I do the same things almost identical every day. But I can't do that for a job. I can't do that when someone else is dictating the terms of my employment. I can't do that if I have to be somewhere at the same time every single day. For some reason, at home, well, I think the difference is the fact that when I'm at home, the time has no meaning. Some days I wake up at 6, other days I wake up at 7. But then from there on out, my routines are pretty similar every day. The first 2, 3 hours of my day are going to look pretty similar no matter what day it is. It's just a matter of what time I wake up. That's the difference. So yeah, I don't even really want to be a creative content creator. I never wanted my creativity to be used for income. I don't want to have to be creative for a paycheck because I can't depend on my creativity to be there. I guess job wise, I've always wanted to do things that were more just procedural and more like black and white, more, step by step, things that like you can almost just do on autopilot. Creativity you can't do on autopilot by definition. There's no such thing. And I I don't think I'm creative enough to make a living from any kind of creative endeavor, even though I'm definitely not an entrepreneur. I've never wanted to be one of those either. I don't know what else I can do at 45 years of age as a transgender woman that is going to be intellectually stimulating and something that's going to just pay enough to live on. I mean, the bottom line is I need like to pay for this apartment now. It's almost $2,000 a month because I'm paying $150 a month extra now for month to month because I'm just kind of hanging out here waiting to see if I'm going to get a job in Illinois, and if so, I'm going to move there. But nothing's happening. This Mercury retrograde just like froze my whole life. My life was going great until Mercury went retrograde in July, and today it's finally going direct again. So hopefully I can get some of that energy back now. Yeah, I just don't know how to fit into this world. I feel like the older I get, the harder it is. I mean, to tell you the truth, I didn't fit in this world when I was 25. And now I'm 45 and I fit into it even less because I've become more of who I am. I think that's what happens as you age. You just become more of who you are because you unmask and you realize who you are. So you lean into it. You don't try to be something you're not and a lot of times people don't realize they're being something they're not because they don't know who they are. And that applied to me all of my 20s basically, and almost all my 30s really. I've really only just started to really figure out who I am over the last 5 years. And that was right after I got married. So it's pretty much what prompted me. COVID and getting laid off then, and my marriage is kind of what prompted me into all that discovery that I tried to do earlier, but just I couldn't get to the depths of what I got to during COVID and after being married. I think getting married opened up my subconscious more to the things that had remained buried all of my 20s and 30s. So, yeah, I mean, if you know anything about human design, I'm a generator, which means I generate basically forever. I have a defined sacral, which means if there's something I want to do with all my heart, I can go forever. And that really rings true for me. That's how I became a pilot. I decided at the age of 14 or 15 that that's what I wanted to do, and I ended up doing it. It was just like, yeah, it really wasn't hard at all because I wanted it so much and I was willing to do whatever I had to do to make it happen. It didn't even occur to me that it wouldn't happen. So a generator, their strategy of life is that they wait to respond to things. And I don't know how to do that with a job search, because if you sit around waiting for a job, you're never going to get one. But yet, as a generator, I'm supposed to wait to respond. And if my gut tells me it's right, then I go for it. If my initial reaction is something's off with this, then it's a no. It's a very simple life. It's a very simple strategy, really. It all comes down to my gut, which I like. It's easy. I used to not trust that gut in a lot of ways. I always thought the mind was superior, but it's really not, at least not for me. So I'm a worker bee. I think that's what generators mostly are, is they are worker bees. They need to be provided this structure. They need to be provided the directions and the step-by-step way of doing something. Like working on an assembly line is probably really good for generators. I don't think that would be for me. I would need something more intellectually stimulating, but I think that's what would be ideal for a generator. Just something that they don't have to manifest themselves, because that would be the manifesting generator. They create the realities. They're the ones I can see starting businesses and being entrepreneurs. They're creating these opportunities for themselves. It's not my nature to do that for me. And it's why I've never owned a business. I've had no desire to really ever start a business. I've been thinking about maybe selling like books and CDs and something like board games maybe on Amazon, but I don't even know, like these, I mean they must make money, otherwise why do people do it? But I don't know. I really couldn't keep any kind of stock in here. I'd have to look into that, but it's so hard to find things out these days. You would think with the internet things would be simple, but no. There's a hundred websites. You have no idea who to believe. They're all telling you different things. You can't even go to like a Barnes and Noble and go to the career section or the business section anymore. And because there's like nothing there. All the books they have are just like self-help, pseudo self-help that really has no value whatsoever. There's no actual book about like how to start an Amazon business. 20, 30 years ago, there would have been, and it would have been a lot more simple to do this. But I'll do some research on the internet. But I also would like to, if I got to be a creator, if I got to do this, I want to get better at making videos, because I know like things like editing, I don't do at all, because I'd rather focus on the creativity of it. If I spend all my time editing, I'm going to make less videos, and I don't want that. I'd rather have more videos and less editing. And plus, it shows you how an autistic person is. I think you can tell when I'm talking that, I'm not like totally normal, neurotypical, as they would say. So, and I think that has value. It seems like now every YouTube video, it's like it cuts after every sentence. And it's just too quick. It's like no one talks like that. It's like rapid fire. You have notes. There's not even like a second between the sentences before they start speaking the next sentence. It's just like nonstop, and it's like you don't even have time to like comprehend what they said. So, but still, like there's things I could do, like thumbnails and putting text on the pictures that I take now. I'm not using those random generated thumbnails because they always look dumb and not photogenic at all. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. I forced myself to do this today, and my channel update, that's a separate video that's going up. I feel better when I do this, and I think that's my generator in me. If I feel like I accomplished something, I instantly feel better, and I see this as my job right now. It's a part-time job. It doesn't really pay anything because I don't have, I have my monetization hasn't kicked in yet. Well, I can't remember what it is. It's like 1,000 subscribers or something like that, and a certain amount of watch time. So I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying to have fun, and whatever happens, happens. But I am concerned. I am really concerned about like my future, and I just don't even know how I should plan for the future in this world right now. I feel like almost any decision I would make would be wrong. And and I know making no decision is still a decision, but at least it's like the least bad because you're just continuing the status quo, which seems better than making a change just for things to get worse, especially if that involves a move to another state and spending $1,000-something moving my much pared down belongings. But still, I still have quite a bit of stuff, a lot of books, mainly, and board games. That's the bulk of my belongings. I have gotten rid of a lot of my stuff. Almost all of my Blu-rays I've sold, and almost all my CDs. I'm trying to really get rid of a lot of my physical media that I don't really use anymore. I'm sick of all my CDs, and I don't really watch movies anymore. So I'm just like, why? I don't know. I feel better though since I did it. So I think that's all for now. Thank you for listening and watching. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.